What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about if the DLC and multiplayer for Cyberpunk 2077 will be delayed. Now, this comes off of basically an interview with the president of CD Projekt Red, and he talked about basically what the plan is or what they're doing internally to fix the stuff that's obviously happened that we've just discovered right over the last week or so. So I want to go over what he said. This is going to come from Push Square, which is overall a really good site, especially for things like this. But I want to go over what he said. I want to talk about why I believe writing is kind of on the walls for these things to be delayed, and if that's a good thing or a bad thing. As always, if you guys have liked this stuff, and I definitely do appreciate you guys supporting the Cyberpunk videos, I hope to make many more. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you guys have the bell icon turned on. If you guys want to join any of our other communities, we have a Twitch, we have a Discord, we have a second channel, and we have a Twitter. All four of those are always in the description below if you guys would want to check it out. It would be awesome to see you guys over there as well. Okay, so basically, it was speaking as a part of an emergency board meeting. He admitted, and I don't know how to say his last name. I'll call him Adam. I feel like we're on a first name basis. Admitted that it's too early to judge what's going to happen to its post-release plans. We don't know yet, he admitted, referring to the promised add-on packs and competitive multiplayer mode. We are now focused on improving Cyberpunk, and we will discuss it early next year. He continued, we're in a situation which wasn't planned, and we'll have to reassess where we are, and that's the plan for January. So now we are managing the situation for the single player. We are working on patches and communication, and to refocus on gamers. We have to sit and discuss. To be fair, the multiplayer and DLC was, and this is, I guess this is the website, this isn't him. To be fair, the multiplayer and DLC was not due to be unveiled until 2021 anyway. So, and that's where it ends. That's where it ends. So I think in order to discuss things like this, it is important to note, because I've said this before, I've said a lot of times, when things get delayed, like behind closed doors, where you maybe don't know about them, and I've said, well, like, that's a delay. Like, even though you don't know about it, we expected it, or maybe they said something to hint at it coming at a certain time, and now it's coming at another time. So although they didn't come out and say it's been delayed, it was. And I've said that before in the years that I've been on YouTube, and people have told me that they don't necessarily agree. Some people say they don't agree. That's personally how I think of it. This one is a little bit of a different example, right, than, like, say, like a Horizon Forbidden West. The Horizon Forbidden West game coming for the PS5. That game was originally talked about to come out in the spring, and now it's most likely coming out in the fall. Well, that game was internally pushed. There's no way of denying it. Whether or not Sony wants to say it is up to them, but I can say the game's been delayed, and I feel like I'm right. Now, again, this is different because it's almost as if he's admitting, right, that it's probably going to happen. I guess in order to figure it out, though, we do have to figure out when these were planned in the first place. So remember, the DLC was going to be structured pretty closely, or resemble at least, Witcher 3. And then obviously there's the multiplayer mode. So, and we don't really know anything about either of them, right? There's really not that much information to go off of. So these could be things that take months. These are not things that come out, I would say, in like 2-3 months away, you know, in the first place. This is something I could have seen them announcing like in the spring, and maybe it comes out in the summer or even in the fall. I think some of these things could have even come out next fall, okay? Now, again, we don't know how expansive the multiplayer is. We don't know all that stuff. Another thing to mention that wasn't even talked about here is the next-gen upgrade, which is something I continuously forget about, in that, you know, when I'm even playing, I've said this before, when I'm playing the game, I'm playing it on my PS5, but it's the PS4 disc, you know, I insert in. I'm playing it backwards compatible, but sometimes I forget about that, and I think, oh, shoot, I forgot. This isn't, you know, this isn't like the next-gen upgrade, which was promised, and we're getting it sometime in 2021. I thought they said early 2021. Maybe I'm making that up. Maybe I'm getting it confused with Avengers, which is also kind of the same thing. But that's another thing to keep in mind, too. Does the current gen or last gen, which, you know, the PS4, Xbox One, however you want to look at it, does that delay the next-gen upgrade for Cyberpunk? I honestly think it does. So I do think they'll be delayed. I really do. The interesting thing is, like, how long? You know, and if it was already planned for some of the stuff to come out, say, late 2021, like a year after the game comes out, to stretch it even further, I mean, you know, we're in an age of gaming where DLCs and updates and upgrades and all stuff like that, like, it can come very far out from when the game comes out. I just think, you know, if it's like the first one, like, there's ways of this looking bad, and really the way it looks bad is if the first piece of DLC or the first multiplayer or whatever comes out like over a full year after the game releases. So if we're not getting DLC until like next December, January 2022, that's, in my opinion, where it's like, all right, well, I mean, I'll take it, and I'm sure people will take it. But at the same time, like, it's been a full year. Yet again, you kind of have to change, and I have to kind of change my mindset when thinking about it, too, because, like, you look at The Witcher, just how popular that game is, is currently, not even what it was. I mean, it was popular. It still is popular. So I'm sure, if they can get this boat turned around for Cyberpunk, I mean, there will be people still playing it. They will still be selling copies of this game all throughout next year. Okay, all throughout next year. And so there will definitely be people waiting for for all of this stuff, for the next gen upgrade. And as more, by the way, as more people get the next gen consoles, obviously they're going to want the next gen upgrade. So the DLC, they're going to want to play more of it. And then the multiplayer, I mean, in a similar way, in my mind, I think The Last of Us, which is the example I want to bring up, Last of Us, I think, is really going to change the game because of how many people were upset at like the base story, but the multiplayer is going to be so different. Maybe the same thing for Cyberpunk, where it's like people are so upset at all these bugs and glitches, and then just kind of refresh themselves with the multiplayer. But I do think it's going to be pushed. The question is how much? Well, I think Push Square actually goes on to say, like, do you kind of add 2-3 months? I think you kind of do. I don't think it's all that. And also, it's not like a one-to-one thing. Like, just because they're working on patches for 2 months or 3 months doesn't mean, however long it is, because we don't even know if February is the last one. If they're doing it for 2-3 months, do you replace that time? Do you put that at like the end? So because they're using 2 to 3 months now, that means the stuff that they were going to do, you push that. I mean, it sounds like they've got like the full team, like as many people as possible working on these patches, and they probably do need it. I mean, not the science, but like the technology and the work that goes in these patches and the testing that needs to be done, it's immense, and you can't actually catch everything. I'm not giving them a pass for what happened. You can catch some of the stuff that's made its way into this game, but most times, like when you do a patch, especially day one patches or like the first week, first 2 weeks, your experience, or the players are experiencing things that you would never have been able to catch in your own play testing. From what I'm aware of the gaming industry, from what I've heard and seen before, that's how it works. So I'll give them a little bit of a pass there in terms of like this can take a while, because this is actually a pretty difficult thing. So I would like to believe it doesn't push it back that far. I would like to believe that there's still people probably working on the multiplayer and DLC. Also, I assume that they had been worked on for months, if not years, previously. They didn't like just start the multiplayer yesterday and they said, shoot, we got to take everybody off that project and move them back to, the bug fixing team, right? I don't think that's how it worked. But I do think they'll end up probably being pushed a month or two. Obviously, the Christmas break, obviously is good for everybody, but doesn't exactly help them because they'll take some time off. That's why, in that apology, they even mentioned like January will be that first patch, not the end of December, January, probably mid to late January, and then February. And it's simply because they're probably not going to be in the office much over the next like 2 or 3 weeks. So let me know, guys, in the comments below. What do you think? Do you think the multiplayer and DLC will be delayed? Do you want it to? Do you care about, if it comes out or if it doesn't come out? Let me know. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on. And again, if you guys want to join our Discord, I know I've talked about that to you guys before. A great community. Twitter, second channel. I have a second channel, Podcast Now Plus, and I also have a Twitch channel, which we've been live streaming Cyberpunk. I'm also going to most likely be streaming Cyberpunk this Friday on this channel on YouTube. So you guys can catch me playing the game there, and hopefully I can do it a couple times on Twitch as well. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope to see you all on the next video.